Good morning. Welcome to the ProWest Elections webinar. My name is Kendra Sharonbrock. I'm the Vice President of ProWest. And with me today is Kyle Wickstrom, our Solution Specialist. ProWest and Associates is a GIS consulting firm specializing in location technology. We are an Esri business partner and have been for the last 20 years. Our team here at ProWest has been busy working on election-based solutions, and we're excited to be hosting this webinar today to talk with you a little bit about the solutions that are out there and available through Esri and through ProWest. And we're very excited to talk about some of the options that exist for integrating election results with the Minnesota Secretary of State results that are posted out there. So thank you again for joining us today. I'm going to be turning it over to Kyle Wickstrom so that he can go through and talk a little bit about all of the exciting election solutions that are out there today. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Candace. So hello, everybody. I am Kyle Wickstrom, a solution specialist here at ProWest. So a little bit about what my job is. My job is to examine client needs and workflows and to come up with out-of-the-box solutions to complex problems. And what we're going to be looking at today are some of the election solutions that are available through Esri and their ArcGIS technologies. A little bit of an overview for our agenda today. We're going to talk about available solutions such as election polling places, dashboards, election results, existing representatives. We're also going to talk about populating election result data into your apps. We'll discuss how to generate data for these apps if you don't have that data in place already. We'll talk about where you can host these applications, and then we'll wrap up with a couple questions and some logistical information. So let's dive right into some demos. So this first application is called Election Polling Places. This is a configuration of ArcGIS Online and Web App Builder, and its purpose is for users to be able to locate polling places within their community where ballots are cast. So we see here we have a very simple interface. It is responsive. It will work on a smartphone or a tablet as well as your desktop computer. And one of the capabilities with each of these apps is this My Location button. So if you have a user out and about on election day, they can locate their polling place to see how nearby it might be to them. So to locate your particular polling place, you see we have a bunch of them on the map here. We can either type an address in the geocoder to locate that location, or we can simply tap or click on the map to find that polling place. So here I'm going to add my polling place. My precinct is going to be highlighted right here on the map, and it's going to highlight the polling place that I will be going to. So here in the side panel, we have that polling place information. It's going to show us the name of it, its address and location. It'll give us these different details, whether it's handicapped accessible, when the following election is. We've also configured in some different links in here to the county's website, to email the elections administration, as well as a phone number to contact those election officials if need be. With these links, if you are on a smartphone or a tablet and you want to select that email, it will fire up your email application. Or if you're on a smartphone and you tap this telephone number, it will open up your phone application and begin calling that election administration for you on the spot. So I do want to mention that all of this information here in this side panel is configured from an ArcGIS Online web map. Also, the sort of information that you want to make available is completely up to you. That is up to your discretion. For this demo, we have decided to track information such as the polling place name, its address, the precinct name, hours, election dates, phone numbers. If you have additional information you want to relay to your users, that can be included as well. Another really nice feature with the Election Polling Place app is that it gives you the ability to offer directions to those polling places. So if I select the Directions tab here, not only is it going to show me a graphic of the directions from my location to that polling place, but it's going to give me a textual description of where I need to go to find my way to that particular location, and we can print those directions out as well. So like I mentioned, this is a responsive app that works on your desktop, on a smartphone and a tablet, and the sort of information you want to offer with your polling places can be tailored. The next application we're going to go through is called early voting. It's very similar to election polling places. However, it is geared more towards individuals who want to be able to pick a different polling place to go to that may be nearest them before election day to turn in their ballot. So it is also a configuration of ArcGIS Online and Web App Builder. You can find the early voting locations for ballots that can be turned in person or via mail. And it operates using this distance search. So we can enter our location in this address geocoder, or we can tap our location on the map. We will do that right here. And here it's going to show us all of the different early voting locations within 2 miles of that point. So let's say I want to tighten that buffer distance down to 1 mile. So it looks like there are 2 early voting locations that I can go to, and it's going to show me the distance to those. Let's say that I want to go to the Riverside School to submit my early ballot. And again, it's going to show that same information that we configured in our web map pop-up. We can put the details about the early voting center. We can put Dropbox details, as well as those links to start dialing it or emailing your election administration. And just like the previous application, we can get these different directions to those locations. We get the graphic as well as the textual information. And again, this is also a responsive app that will work on any device. Another application is the polling place wait time dashboard. This is a configuration of ArcGIS Online and Operations Dashboard. And what it is allowing us to do is view the reported wait times for these different polling places. So if you're living in an area where you have the ability to vote at one of multiple polling places, you don't always want to just guess where you want to go. You want to know what these wait times are for those polling locations. So here we have a map view of all of the polling places available to us. And here we have a list of these different locations. So let's say we're interested in knowing what is the wait time at Lowell School. So there, this graphic here shows us the wait time is about 5 minutes. So if we look at Riverside School, that wait time is about 15 minutes. If we go over on this other panel, here we have a different view of what those wait times are. And it looks like Harrison and Riverside School up here, they have the longest wait time. So maybe I would choose to go to one of these other locations that has smaller wait times. So the purpose of this is to help smooth the different traffic spikes that are happening. This data is coming in real time. It's being reported by elections officials at these different locations using the Collector app. And again, this is a responsive app that will work on your smartphone, tablet, or desktop computer. So we have a question that has come in. Does the direction feature use ArcGIS Online credits? So depending on how you want to set up your directions, you can use the network services through ArcGIS Online, or if you choose to set up your own network and directions on your own server, you can do it through that way. But for these 2 different applications, we are using the ArcGIS Online driving directions, and these are consuming credits. All right. So we'll move on to the elections results app. So here, before I remove this, I'll just explain this here a little bit. A lot of people have expressed interest in having their disclaimers on their election results, and these can easily be configured into this application because it uses Web App Builder. Web App Builder has some of these different widgets that you can include in it, such as splash screens or information panels that you can put these disclaimer information. So elections results is a configuration of ArcGIS Online and Web App Builder. Its purpose is to allow users to review election results live on election night, and you can even maintain these applications after election night to use for historical result information. So if we look here at our study area, we have a map-based view of the different winners for these elections. I'll zoom in here. And again, you can type an address location in or tap the map to learn about those precinct results. I'm going to tap on this precinct here. And right here, it's going to show me these election results from the 2012 general election. We can see that the Democratic Party got most of these votes just using this visual chart. The Republican Party got a few less. And right here, we can see that this other party, they had a few votes as well. So let's say we're interested in a different race. We want to look at the state Senate race. So here we just have a different configuration of that chart. And in this case, it's going to show us a pie chart just to give us an overall proportion of where these votes went to. And it looks like the Democratic Party here had won that particular race in that precinct. And notice that in each of these results, we have also included a simple disclaimer about this election information. You are not restricted to just these 4 different races. If there are other races that you want to be tracking, whether they be federal, state, or county, and even municipal and local races, such as school board or mayoral, you can also start tracking that information and presenting it through this application as well. This next application is the My Elected Representative app, and this is a configuration of ArcGIS Online and its configurable finder template. And what it allows users to do is determine their representatives for a particular location on the map. So if I go over here to this precinct, and again, you can either type in an address using the search bar, or you can click your location on the map. And here it's going to show me all of the different representatives that represent that particular location. You can see we have some city council members for that precinct and council members at large. We have the county commissioner information, state senate, state representatives, U.S. Senate. And notice that some of this information in here that we have in this pop-up panel, this is also configured from an ArcGIS Online web map. You can configure different attributes to display if you want to have, perhaps you want to have their phone numbers, district websites. We have those set up in this app here. It'll take us to one of our representatives' web pages. But just like that app I described earlier, if you want to configure email links, telephone links in these, you can do that as well. There have also been some applications out there where they've even included the photos of their representatives. But yes, this pop-up is configured from an ArcGIS Online web map. Another nice thing about this Finder template is it's readily easy. It's very easy to share this template with other users. So you can do that via this link and share that link, or you can send it in an email. So again, this information is custom to what you want to share with your citizens, and it's also responsive. So with all of these different elections, applications, and solutions, you sometimes need a single place to put them. So this is a configuration of the Maps and Apps gallery through ArcGIS Online, and it is a collection of different maps and apps that you have in your ArcGIS Online organization. The types of items that are shared in here are determined using the ArcGIS Online group. So any item shared with this gallery will be appearing in here. So if I click on this particular app it will open that application in a new tab. Or if I want to go to a gallery, and there it's just linking back to the same gallery. So the thing to note about these galleries is these items don't have to be mapping applications. If you want to create an item that links your users to your election administration website, that can be configured in here as well. And you can see we have some different capabilities, such as being able to sort these applications by date, by views. We can change the layout and get some descriptive information about each one of those applications as well. All right, so for the election results application, we are going to take a little time and talk about populating that information into your application. And in particular, in the state of Minnesota, how to incorporate the official state data. So the Minnesota Secretary of State's office does make its election results data available. And typically, the way users are accessing this information is through this interface on their website. And this is for a particular precinct in the city of Brainerd. It shows us the different individuals and candidates who are running for these positions, as well as a graph visual of the results. Another way that they make this data available is through simple text. So if we scroll through this text here, we see that we have the election results for every precinct within the state of Minnesota. And this is very important when we discuss how to bring this data into your election results application. So what we have done is we have written a back-end process that is going to search through this massive, not very human readable data. It's going to locate the data that is specific to your area of interest or your county or maybe your city municipality. And it is going to make a copy of that data and put it over onto your own county or city server. So the state Secretary of State's website, this data is updated approximately every 15 minutes. And this search process to transfer that data relevant to your county is also going to be set at an interval to get that live information as well. So some of the data that is made available throughout the state of Minnesota by precinct include president and vice president, your U.S. representatives, state representatives, governor races, auditors, county commissioners, treasurers, sheriff's departments, even right down to school board members, school district questions, city council members, and mayoral races. And this process, we will mention, is specific to the state of Minnesota. For those who maybe aren't within Minnesota, there are other options for getting your data into those applications to serve those. And we would be more than happy to discuss those with you, whether it is an automated process, taking data that is updated by state officials, or simply being able to track it on your own and enter that in through another sort of application. So another question we get often is, where does all this data to run these apps come from? I don't have all of this data. So at the core of, at least in the state of Minnesota, the precinct is going to be our core geometry shape for these applications. So, and the state does make these precincts available through its GIS data. And we have taken that data, and what we will do is we will often share that with the different organizations that want to have these applications and give that to them to review, and they can make any precinct boundary changes that they might want to make. So this is a simple ArcGIS Online web application. It's actually using Web App Builder that allows us to go in and start creating some of these different polling places. So if I go in on a location here, And I say there is a polling location right here. I'm just going to click on that point, and I can start entering in some of this information. We're going to give it a polling ID. We can put the address. And all of this information can be tailored to the information that you are wanting to share with your public. If you want to have a comments or a notes section in here, you can include that. Maybe you're not interested in posting information about who to contact about questions, or maybe the voter registration deadline. Maybe you don't want to include that. This is just simple attribute information that can be tailored to meet your specific needs. And we can use the same application to enter our early voting locations. So we'll put an example location right in here. And again, we just have the same sort of setup to enter that different attribute information that these users would be interested in tracking to use in their public applications. And you also have some different capabilities with editing your precinct boundaries. So if we click on a particular precinct here, this information that is grayed out is coming straight from the state site, and in this case we have elected not to be able to edit those attributes, but we want to associate a polling ID with those particular features. There are also capabilities with this application to do some geometry updates. So if you want to begin merging some of these precinct polygons because maybe you need to merge those for your voting purposes, you can do some of those simple geometry edits as well. So this is just a great way to begin collaborating on data. You can set up an app like this in your office for another individual to use. You can share this application with another user in your ArcGIS Online account. It's a great way to streamline your data creation, especially for organizations who maybe don't have the GIS staff or the time to use desktop tools to begin creating this data. So this is another way to use ArcGIS Online to begin feeding those elections apps. So we'll talk a little bit about where you can host these applications. So these applications that we showed you today are hosted in our ProGov ArcGIS Online organization. And doing that, you get the option to take advantage of some of the latest out-of-the-box widgets made available through Web App Builder. You also have the opportunity to create these applications in the Web App Builder Developer Edition and host them on site. If you choose to do that, you have some different capabilities, such as being able to customize and tailor that application even further, such as if you have branding requirements or some different functionality you want to include with that particular application. So you have different options for hosting these particular applications, whether they're in ArcGIS Online or hosted on your own web server. And I don't see any other questions coming in right now, so I think what I will do is I will give the microphone back to Candace, and she can talk about some logistics and wrapping up. And I guess one thing I would like to mention, that governments, both big and small, are signing up for applications like these. We want to give a shout out to Wadena County, Minnesota. They are putting these applications forward to their public and to serve their 14,000 citizens. And we're really, really excited to see other counties make these applications available to their residents. So here, Candace, I'll give it back to you.
Thank you, Kyle. Great job reviewing the different election solutions that are available. And some questions that have come through here are involving some licensing questions. And just to clarify, all of the solutions that Kyle went through today can be used individually, or all of those solutions can be used. And for some cities, for some rural and city counties, certain templates such as early voting may not be applicable, and that's okay. For a lot of folks, the election results solution, as well as the gallery pages and polling place locations, are really important for both urban and rural areas. So you can certainly use one or more of these. You aren't limited to using just one, and you certainly don't have to use all of them. You can certainly mix and match based on what's available for your organization. Just a quick note on licensing, since there's always lots of questions regarding licensing. Again, this is using ArcGIS Online. If you have a desktop GIS license right now that's current on maintenance, that means that you are entitled to activate an ArcGIS Online organizational account. If you have an organizational account already set up, these are solutions that you can start working on today. In addition, if you do not have an ArcGIS Online organizational account activated and you do have a desktop license that's current on maintenance, you can certainly contact Desiree and activate your organizational account to get started with using some of these templates. So because these are public-facing solutions, there's lots of options for you to be able to get started with configuring those right away. how ProWest is involved in not only helping our clients set up these templates, but to also, for those clients in Minnesota or other states where their state government is supplying the election results on a near real-time basis, we have the capability to integrate those real-time automated results into the election results application, which has been very appealing for many of our clients. If that's something that you're interested in talking with ProWest about, please feel free to contact us. We do have a deadline of August 1st for all of those interested in having ProWest help either configure solutions for them or to provide some training as they look at the different election solutions that they might want to push out there to the public. So if you are interested in either training or configuration of solutions, please feel free to contact us. You can go on to the ProWest website and contact us through there. Also, you can feel free after the webinar to see our ProGov site at prowestgis.com, where you can see all of the election solutions that are available as well. You can also go onto the solutions page at Esri and check out some of the election solutions out there as well. So with that, thank you again, Kyle, for the great job reviewing the election solutions. Another great shout out to Wadena County for all the great work that they've been doing, working on getting their election solutions out there. And we look forward to talking with all of you, and have a great day. Thank you so much.